Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our wellness webinar. Happy to have you here. People are still coming in, so I am clicking them in as they show up. But we have a really full agenda for you today. And I want to tell you that this will be like no other webinar, wellness webinar you've been to. We're going to cover, of course, our physical well-being, our emotional and mental well-being, as well as our spiritual well-being. However, we're going to give you ways that you can do it in what some may call an unconventional way. You see, I like to have fun. All of my friends, we like to go out and just enjoy life. I consider myself being one of those people. I am a senior and a baby who savors in the spices. So we're going to help you do that too. And I just want you to know that I am a health coach. I'm not a medical person. I am a health coach and an educator. And I enjoy life to the fullest. And we want you to do that too. I have been a health educator and in the health field actually since the 80s. And while I'm not a medical person, I do a lot of research and evidence-based programs that I actually facilitate. So I think I kind of know what I'm talking about most of the time. I'm not going to say all of the time, but I do walk the talk. So I also consider myself an experiential scientist. Most of the things that I talk about, I try myself so that I can give you and share firsthand information, which I think is really key. And if I have to modify it, then I'll do that. So I simply ask you to join us today with an open mind. And also, as you hear the things that are the ideas that are presented to you, I would like you to apply it as to what you can do according to your personal values so that you can make better choices and live your life to the fullest while just having a good time. And believe me, all of it really makes a difference. Through the years, I was doing this stuff before I started all of my research and found out that they had done evidence-based and scientific-based research on it. So with that said, we're going to start with one of my absolutely, I think, the best thing to start with, because research has also found that happy people are usually healthier people. So without further ado, I am going to introduce our first presenter, Trish Ajhel Roberts, who is the author of Mind-Blowing Happiness. So just imagine that. So like I said, if you don't have a pen around, please maybe get one. Oh, something before Trish comes on. We do have some prizes and free giveaways that we have coming up, but we won't be giving those out until the end. So we hope that you hang around with us. Okay,
You ready for
Trish.
me? I'm an author, a coach, and a speaker. I'm the founder of Mind Blowing Happiness LLC. So that's how serious I am about my mind blowing happiness, and also Black Vegan Life. So you may have seen me on Meetup as well. We have a group there. First off, I want to thank Carolyn because I think she's put together such an amazing agenda for us today, and I'm excited to get started. And yes, we're going to be giving away prizes, so please take notes. So I am the author of 12 Steps to Mind-Blowing Happiness, a journal of insights, quotes, and questions to juice up your journey. That's the book that's sitting next to me. And I got some amazing endorsements that I want to share with you. So the foreword is from Marcy Shimoff. You may know her from the movie The Secret, or she did the voiceover in the film Happy. She also did Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul. And I also have an endorsement from Jack Canfield, who is the original co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I was really excited the day after my birthday on 9/11, I got an endorsement from Iyanla Van Sant. So she included me in her Facebook Live. So that was really exciting. My mission is to help you slay self-doubt and limiting beliefs so you can juice up your life's journey to find mind-blowing happiness. And I really believe that we would live in a world that was different if people felt just a little bit more confident. Sometimes I think the people who have not the greatest intentions are super confident. And then the rest of us who, have kind hearts and want to do good work sometimes don't step out of our comfort zone because we just don't have that level of confidence. Mind-blowing happiness is my word for self-actualization. And I actually defined it because a lot of people don't use that word self-actualization. So I define it as a state of deep joy and fulfillment characterized by a juicy life's journey steeped in passion, purpose, and the realization of your fullest potential. And I've made the commitment to teach my 12 steps to mind-blowing happiness to 12 million people over the course of the next 12 years. And today I'm going to share with you my 10 tips to help you slay self-doubt. And this material first appeared in my blog. So hopefully by the time we're done, I'll send you to my website and you can check out all the great information that's on there. I have a blog, I have a podcast. There was an episode with Carolyn, which was amazing. We were talking about trying new things, which is also a great component for happiness, for boosting your happiness. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. And okay, so you guys can all see this. So this starts off with one of my favorite quotes from Susie Kassem. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. So many times we get stuck because we're worried about failure when really it's that self-doubt that keeps us from getting started. So I'm going to share 10 tips with you. I don't expect you to take all 10 of them and run with them, but maybe you can find one or two that you can use today or use starting tomorrow. So the first one is to acknowledge your feelings. It sounds really simple, but the reality is sometimes when we feel uncertain or we don't feel super confident, it's hard to even acknowledge that. And you can't change anything about yourself if you don't first acknowledge that you have that feeling. I know that it took a while for me to admit that I had self-doubt because I just didn't think it was a strong thing to share. But what I've learned is the data says 85% of people experience self-doubt, but I honestly believe it's 100% because we all experience that at some point. The second step, pull out your journal. Journaling is so powerful. There is a great quote from Tony Robbins, which, he's a world-known motivational speaker, where he says the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of the questions you ask yourself. And you may want to ask yourself some things like, what happened in childhood? That's always a good question because that always comes up, right? We're made up of how we grew up. But how does self-doubt serve you now? Are there people in your life who are benefiting from your self-doubt, or are you benefiting from your own self-doubt? Does it make it so that you don't have to do things you don't want to do? So think about what questions you can ask yourself. And then get in a supportive community. If you are surrounded by people who don't want to move forward, who are haters, who are jealous, whether it's family or friends, that is always going to make it difficult for you to move forward. So find a supportive community. This is a great community right here, but you might also want professionals like a teacher or a mentor or a therapist or a coach, but find a great community. Number 4, clean up your self-talk. There are going to be plenty of people who are going to tell you what you can't do and how you don't look right, or you're not smart enough, or can find a whole list of things wrong with you. You don't want to be that person with yourself. So you want to learn to speak kindly to yourself. I encourage you that if you hear yourself saying, I can't, maybe change it to I won't. It's more empowering, or I don't want to, or I can if I want to, but kind of change that language. The negative voice in your head lies. So even if you think of hearing a voice that tells you I'm a failure, right? The reality is you're not a failure. Nobody's a failure. The truth may be something like, I didn't reach my goals, but I learned from the experience, right? And there's a great quote from Nelson Mandela where he says, I never lose. I either win or I learn. I love it. I never lose. I either win or I learn. You can't go wrong. Step 5, use affirmations. In not this book so much, but my previous book, Thinking Outside the Chrysalis, A Black Woman's Guide to Spreading Her Wings, has a lot of affirmations, but you can Google affirmations, or you can write down whatever you want. And a really easy one is, I deserve mind-blowing happiness. And you just repeat it until you really start believing that it's true. And it is true. Tip number 6, keep track of your accomplishments. You know, we all have bad days, but if you can keep track of, your graduation, maybe birth of a child, promotion, the first time you went hiking, or you gave a great talk, whatever your accomplishments are, keeping track of them, so when you have difficult times or you don't feel that confident, it can boost your confidence level. And then number 7, question limiting beliefs. I love this one because a lot of times we have limiting beliefs and we don't realize that they're not true. So if you make a list of limitations that you believe that you have, and 2 easy ones that came up for me was like, I'm not really smart and I don't come from money, right? The reality is, the truth of the matter is, most people have average intelligence. That's why it's average. So if you have average intelligence, then okay, you're just like everybody else. And the second one, I don't come from money. If you live in the US, even if you don't make a lot of money, you have access to more resources than probably most of the global population. So question your limiting beliefs, write them down, and then examine them and see if you think they're really true. And number 8, keep track of your progress. So I have a habit that I started that I love. Every Sunday, I write in what I call my Magic 7 journal. So I answer 7 questions. What did I accomplish for the past week? What am I thankful for? What did I learn? What am I most proud of? How will I celebrate? What am I most excited about for the upcoming week? And out of everything on my to-do list, what is the one thing I'm going to focus on for the week coming up? So I call it my Magic 7 journal, and I really look forward to writing in it because it's so much good stuff in there and it makes me feel great. Tip number 9, work on new skills. And it could be anything. It could be learning to hike or doing something you haven't done before. It could be swimming. It could be skating. It could be reading a book that you haven't read before, or developing any kind of new skill or talent that's new for you. Will boost your confidence. And of course, personal development work. All of this stuff here is included in new skills. And number 10, this is the last one. Keep up with current events. I have a lot of friends who don't like to pay, they don't like to watch the news because it's depressing, but you don't have to watch the news. There's a lot of little newsletters that'll come out once a day that'll just let you know what's going on, so that when someone speaks to you about politics or any current event, that at least you have a sense of what's happening. So that's my 10 tips to slay self-doubt. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I want to thank you, and I hope you'll visit my website. I've got lots of free goodies on there that I mentioned. There's a downloadable ebook as well, and I'm giving away 3 copies of my book, 12 Steps to Mind-Blowing Happiness, a journal of insights, quotes, and questions to juice up your journey. And Carolyn, can I go ahead and ask the questions? Are we ready to do that now?
Well, you can. It's up to you.
Okay, you have the answers, right? Okay, so we were gonna give away some books, and I'm gonna ask you some questions, and whoever types the right answer, I could actually probably take this down into the chat, will win a book. So the first question, if you can name one of the people who endorsed 12 Steps to Mind-Blowing Happiness. Do you remember one of them?
This is how we know you were paying attention.
Yeah, so that was good. So you got that one. It looks like was it Valerie who got it? But anyway, I'll let Carolyn, let me not look at that. I'll let Carolyn take care of that. Okay, and then the next question is, oh wait, I didn't tell you guys this. All right, so we'll skip that. Where were the tips to slaying self-doubt first shared? Guys, did you guys get that? Oh, they got it. I'm so excited. All right, that's awesome. And then the third question, how many questions do I ask myself in the magic journal that I write in on Sunday? There you go. This was fun. Well, it was fun for me because people were listening. That's awesome. I did forget to tell you guys one thing though. So if you post a review of 12 Steps to Mind-Blowing Happiness, I am giving away a $50 Amazon card. So right now we're at 30 reviews, and when I hit 50, I'm gonna pull another winner. So it would be great if I could get some reviews. And thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening so intently. And thank you, Carolyn, for having me. So I can talk a little about what the 12 Steps to Mind-Blowing Happiness are, since we didn't talk about that at all, and it'll give you an idea, especially for the people who may win books, what you're gonna get your hands on. So the first step is healing. A lot of times we do personal development work and kind of skip over the whole part about the fact that we need to heal, especially if we are people of color in this country. We all have some level of race-based trauma. And then of course we may have whatever else we grew up with or we could be dealing with. So there's something that I kind of coined that I call a gratitude shower, which is really simple, but I feel like it's had impact on me for sure. And basically all I do, and it's not every day, but maybe once a week when I go into the shower, instead of just like showering and thinking about my next appointment, I take time to really pay attention to how appreciative I am of every point on my body. So I can wash my face and be grateful that I can smile, that I can taste my food. You know, people who've had strokes or Bell's palsy can't smile. you know, whether it's your teeth or being thankful as women for our breasts, if you have healthy breasts, washing your arms and thinking of all of the people you've hugged, all the babies you've carried, you know, all the groceries you've hauled in, just really appreciating your arms. The stomach for us ladies is a little bit harder. However, that's where your food is digested, right? So appreciating your legs, appreciating your feet, especially your feet carry your whole body throughout the day. So it's just a nice way to be very mindful and conscious and appreciative of your body. Women have a lot of pressure on us to look different than how we look a lot of the times. So try it. I think that you'll find that it'll have a positive impact on you.
When I first moved to Atlanta, I came from Detroit. So being out in the beautiful sunshine and the weather, I just automatically felt better. And I started hiking after I moved here, being outdoors. I was a city girl, not an outdoors person at all. And just being outdoors made such a difference in my life. And I want to tell you, I have since found out that when you're out in nature, particularly out in the amongst the trees, when we inhale nice deep, not only are we clearing our lungs and getting rid of a lot of old stale air that's down there, when we're around trees, we're actually inhaling phytoncides. Phytoncides is basically the essence of the trees, and it actually builds our immune cells, and it helps us to be a lot healthier. So when you go out for a walk in a park, in your neighborhood, not around cars and all of the exhaust, but you're getting fresh air, you're getting your vitamin D. And from time to time, when you're in this webinar, take a nice friend of mine, job was stressful, and she called me sitting in the car, just not looking forward to even going in. I said, just take a few deep breaths and, count to 10, whatever it is that you can do. And she called me after work and said it really made a difference. She had to do that throughout the day. But a lot of these things, most of us, some of us already know. We just may not be doing them, but they really, really do work. So I want you to know, to be happy, just choose to be. When I'm in the shower in the morning, I'm singing happy songs to myself. So no one else can hear it, even though I live alone. I do have a roommate. But I'm telling you, if you choose to be happy, then that's exactly the way your day will be. So make choices as you're getting the information today. Use that information so that you can have a happier life, and you can have mind-blowing happiness, as Trish was saying.
Carolyn,
Good. Thank you for joining us this Sunday afternoon. And the weather is beautiful in my side of town. My son and I would like to talk about adult coloring books. They can be used for family. They can be used for sharing with your partner, your friend, family members, brothers, sisters. So the name of the series is Black is the Color of. And we have two volumes that are out now, and the third volume will be here just in time for the holidays. But this coloring book series was created to celebrate our joys in life, It celebrates yesteryear and our imagination and various things that we grew up in the Black experience or just in with our neighbors. So it just adds memories to what we used to do and what we used to enjoy. So we look at this series as it was created by my son and I because we had a real deep desire to provide representation in the coloring book space. There are lots of books, but I don't see too many, if any at all, of Black coloring books that represent our life, important times as we were growing. So these books just offer a great time to bond with your family, with your children, and you can share with them some of the things that you used to do. You know, you can tell them some stories around it. So it's really interesting. And I know people have heard about life imitating art. We truly believe art imitates life, your life. And this is what you see right here is one of the pages in the coloring book. And most everybody had a fireplace or a mantle or some place they featured all of the pictures of their family. And we call this page Generations of Life. It definitely brings back memories for us. And it carries on. It carries on for the little ones that are growing up to be able to see, oh, is that grandma? That's grandpa. So we look at this as creativity. Omari, can you tell them more?
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, so continuing what my mother said, we were inspired to create a coloring book series that just you know, stood as representation for us as Black people. You know, me being an artist, I spent much of my time growing up attending art schools and just being really engaged in the art world. And due to that experience, you know, one thing that I definitely noticed I was lacking was, you know, content that spoke to me as a Black kid growing up. So when we were beginning to, you know, think about what we wanted to create, um, as a first idea, because we had this, you know, last year due to the pandemic we had all of this time and we were like, you know, here's an opportunity to try something new. And my mother's always wanted to make an activity book or something you know, similar to that. And you know, of course, me being in the arts, it was a natural progression for me. So, you know, after, you know, a little bit of thinking, we just thought like, you know, wow, it'd be amazing to make something that you know, we can share with, you know, other Black people, our family members, our friends, our young ones, our nieces, nephews, kids. We can share stories, and we can also, you know, offer something that helps with mindfulness, helps with stress relief, helps inspire creativity. Because, you know, as we grow older, one thing that we do less and less is you know, a lot of us do less and less is be creative or do creative things, you know, like just for fun. You know, oftentimes many creative things are often you know, considered to be for kids. Like for coloring, typically, you know, traditionally wasn't considered to be something that adults would be into, but recently, you know, a lot of adult coloring material has been releasing, and the demand for it has been increasing because people see the benefits of it. So that's really what inspired us to get into coloring books, because of the health benefits, but also the subject matter, because we just wanted to create something for um for Black people. Let me get back into the presentation. So in our series, we have 3 volumes. Volume 1, Culture and Life, spans between the 1950s and 1980s. and it's kind of an overall view. There's a lot of traditional scenes. I'll show you some scenes coming up in the presentation. There's a lot of scenes that immediately, like when you see them, you be like, "Yeah, I remember experiencing that. I remember doing that. You know, my friends, my family." And then volume two, it spans from the 1990s to now, and it focuses more on our experiences growing up. So a lot of things that we did as kids that you would immediately connect with as a black person. Um, and then lastly, our third volume is Dreams and Visions, which has more of a surreal aspect to it. So it deals with our imaginations and things, just things that we envision ourselves becoming. I'll show you some scenes from that. Volume one and volume two are currently shipping now. They're available, and volume three is for pre-sale, and we're hoping to have that out this fall so we can offer the full three volume series to everyone for the holidays. So again, I'm gonna show you some scenes, but before I hop into that, I want to just quickly go over some of the benefits of coloring. Well, specifically for this one, because this one deals with real life settings, we have unique and familiar settings. It was important for us to show these settings that are familiar, but kind of do it in a real creative and way that um, it's just kind of different take that you don't typically see in the coloring book. So you'll get feelings of nostalgia. Like we definitely wanted to offer the opportunity for you to share time with family members and share stories when you see the scenes. Stress, mental relief, mindfulness, like slowing down in life is important. Having patience and coloring helps. Is really great for that. Emotional well-being, and this ties back into our, Trisha's what she talked about previously, and engages the creative spirit, which is really important. It keeps you purposeful in life. So let me show you some pages. So here's a page from volume one, and this is immediate. You know, we've all experienced this time. Spending time in the kitchen with our grandmother, all of the different details you wanted to capture in there. You can see the chicken inside of the bag. You have to, put the flour on it. Everything set up, the seasoning, the cat peeking in from the other room, and
Don't forget the telephone cord. You could walk
yeah.
far away as you wanted and still be talking and still be cooking. Yeah.
hmm So it's just perfect scenes for you to be like, share stories while you're coloring them. I'm gonna let my mom tell you about some of the other scenes we have.
Oh, this one is very important to some of the young guys growing up, their first haircut and going to the barbershop with their dad. And then you get to listen to all the crazy talk that the guys are doing in the shop. But it was just something fun to do, something just, wow, I can't, wait to get my hair shaped with a high top like my dad, so I think a lot of people can relate to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Next one. And this, of course, I remember you in the mirror with your mom and she's showing you how to put on makeup. And it's just so much precious time and what colors match with what. And mom, I'm ready to wear red lipstick. And she's like, oh no, baby, not just yet. So it's very, very, these pictures allow you to reminisce on times when you were enjoying your family, enjoying your sisters and brothers, and it's just fun, just great. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Also want to say that we also put a lot of little Easter eggs in there, cultural Easter eggs. So I don't know how many of y'all remember the hair product company called Just for Me. So that was the reference for the name for the scene. So the name for the scene is called Just for Us. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
let me go to the next one. So there we have a lot of scenes. I'll show you some more, but I quickly want to talk about the events we started doing recently. Now that things are slowly opening, so we do these coloring events called Creative Coloring Community events, and basically we just invite the community out and we offer like samples from inside of the book that they could choose between, and they could just sit and color. All of the materials are provided for, and it's just a great way to get out. Well, not only get the book out, but also, like just create a a hub for the community to come together and kind of engage into what inspired us to create this book in the beginning. And then I'm gonna go on from here and show you some more pages.
So
That's
I'm
okay.
sure many people remember these. These are some photos from volume 2. So the top right, you're in church, you've been in church all day long. You're just so sleepy. And they're singing in the background, the pastor is talking, but you knocked out. Or either the bid whist games for all you card players. There you are in the middle, and then of course, gotta go to the pool hall. And you always have a couple of guys who think they can, run the table and just, play all night long and win all kinds of, money on the side. But then we got our ladies who we gotta look good and we gotta go to the salon. Yeah, that's what it's called, the salon, way back then, and get those big humongous curlers in your hair, and you're getting your nails done while you chit-chatting with all your girlfriends. So those were the days. Those were the happy days. Go ahead. Here's a sneak peek of our volume 3. And volume 3 is about dreams and visions. So, there, the little girl in the middle, she's, got her stethoscope on and she's thinking she could be a doctor in the future. And of course, she's going to practice with who she has available to her. And those are all her stuffed animal friends. Then you look at the top right and you see this is McGarvey School, which really shows all the various professions that, the kids can be. They can be who they want to be in the future. They can start working on it in school and, grow up to be just beautiful people inside and out and care about the world in whatever profession that they do. And the picture on the bottom, how many of us have had birthday parties and, we're dreaming and placing our wishes and blowing out the candles, and we just having so much fun with our mom and pop and just kind of, looking forward to the next birthday. And then, of course, you see that big mirror on the wall, and you can see yourself larger than life, beautiful. Your career is blossoming, and we just enjoy creating these. So volume 3, we're excited for it to come out. We're looking for it to come around the holidays, and we're just happy on all these volumes and how they've come together.
Yeah, we've it's definitely been a learning experience. It's our first time doing this as either of us, and it's also our first time working together as a mother and son duo on a project. So it's definitely been a learning experience. It's been rewarding and awesome. And all of the coloring books are $15. We have them available on our website currently, but today I think we're going to be giving away a few copies as well. This is a spread from volume 1, which, skating rink, it's very, very nostalgic, very fun times, fun memory there. But
Yeah.
Lenore, definitely we'll go ahead.
This incorporates every element that you can remember from being in the skating rink, from sitting down, putting on your skates, to the, mirror ball in the middle. We really, on purpose, our intent was to give you a full creative experience. And as you're coloring it, some people may use different colors here or a different color there. Whatever speaks to you, and whatever comes to your mind or memories on what you can remember when you were in a skating rink. Even if you fell down, you still had a lot of fun.
Yes.
It was great.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Lynn and Omari. And as I said initially, this would be like no other wellness webinar you've been to. That's with the coloring book. If you think about it, the happiness that we have, the nostalgic, thinking about those things we did. And as we're coloring, and I'm speaking from experience, I want to tell you that when we talk about mindfulness, that really, really comes to mind because I got so involved in the coloring that I was just focused in on what I was doing. And the other thing that I like about it is intergenerational. I know someone asked the question, well, what age range? It's whatever age range you want to, you think that they can color, right on up to I'm in my 70s. You know, so it just depends upon what you feel the young person can color and do. And also, Lynn, I don't know if you mentioned that they do have different color tones rather than just regular crayons or pencils that you can get. But when we talk about happiness, I think the coloring book brings that. When we talk about emotional and mental well-being, brings all of that. And then the mindfulness, so that mindfulness is us just being in the moment. I'm telling you, when you're in that coloring book and just smiling to yourself as you're thinking about what happened in your life when that was, as you're coloring those pictures, and as Lynn said, with the colors that best reflect what is that you are, what you want. So I want to thank you for that. We'll be giving away books at the end as well. So we are to move on. The next part that I want to talk about, and it's all together, looks like I'm going to get knocked out again, but hopefully I won't. If I do, Lynn, would you step up? But what I want to say is, when we talk about emotional well-being, we need to also look at self-care. And if you're from my generation, you may remember if you wanted to really take care of yourself, you were more told you were being selfish. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes we have to be selfish to take care of ourselves. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anybody else in the family. You know, it just makes sense. So what we're going to do now, a couple of things. One that I'll bring up at the end as well, and this will be the giveaways that I'll have. But as we get older, we talk about wills, and we're thinking about that time when we're older and maybe can't take care of ourselves. Have you considered a living will, particularly with COVID and people being in the hospital? Does your family or people close to you, your loved ones, know what your wishes are? So I'll get more into that after our next presentation from our Medicare educator, Miss Rita Tolbert. And I am going to play this video, and Rita, I believe, is on with us. So if you have any questions, understand that we're showing this about Medicare because one day we'll all need it. We may have, like my mother now is 89, and we want to make sure that they have the best care. So as you know, with all the changes that they're making. we want to make sure that we know what's going on. And I'm going to tell you, I have heard Rita, and Rita really, she talks in language so that we can really understand it. Plain English. It's not complicated at all. So
Yes.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of United Healthcare, welcome to A Better You. We're so glad you set time aside for your health. We promise you won't regret it. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver." That means that your health is one of your most valuable assets, and you must do everything you can to safeguard it. Every element of this event today is meticulously crafted around the African American experience, our cultural celebration, and the recognition that the ultimate power of wellness integrates the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, we're not blindsided by the biological and environmental factors that plague us. For example, did you know that 20% of baby boomers have 5 or more chronic conditions? Or that the average Medicare member takes 4.5 prescriptions each month? Some of these numbers are even higher for our communities of color. We stand strong and confident to address these challenges because at United Healthcare, we proudly serve 1 out of every 5 people on Medicare. Our Medicare and Retirement Division is the largest business dedicated to the health and well-being of seniors. So we humbly share our mission, which is to help people live healthier lives and to help make the health system work better for everyone. It is also no coincidence that our mission ends with the word everyone, because we know that healthcare is deeply personal for each person. As African Americans, we are keenly aware of the health disparities that still exist between different racial and ethnic groups. But at United Healthcare, we're striving for health equity. That's when everyone has the same opportunity to be the healthiest they can be, regardless of their race, age, education, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status. Some of the ways that we're addressing these disparities is by delivering programs and services that reflect our members' unique needs and ethnic backgrounds. For more than 10 years, we've been sweeping across this country, delivering free Medicare educational events and live experiences in your communities, impacting thousands of lives. United Healthcare has strived to be a trusted resource for you. And during this pandemic, we're not deterred. In fact, we're more resolved given how it has consumed our communities of color. I encourage you to empower yourself with the collective information, resources, and insights from today and commit to be a better you. Now it's time to learn about Medicare. Get your pens and paper out because we've got a lot to cover. Because Medicare is complex, we are going to focus on the basics today. What is Medicare? Well, Medicare is a federal health insurance program for eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents. It's funded in part by your taxpaying dollars while you were working, and it is an individual health insurance plan. It does not cover your family. It is not Social Security. It is not Medicaid, and it's definitely not free. Now, who can get Medicare? U.S. citizens and legal residents. If you are a legal resident, you must have lived in the U.S. for at least the last 5 consecutive years, and including the 5 years just before applying for Medicare. You have to be age 65 or older. You could also be younger than age 65 if you have a qualifying disability. Let's start at the top. Hospital insurance and medical insurance. Hospital insurance was known as Part A, and it covered your hospital stays while you were admitted into the hospital. So your hospital room, the medications that you would use while you're in the hospital, your lab tests, the operating room. And then if you were in a skilled nursing facility, that's where you would be for rehab, for example, you would be covered under Part A as well. Here's how the cost breaks down. Most people don't pay a premium. There is a deductible. If you stay in the hospital longer than 60 days, you will pay a copay. If you stay longer than 90 days, your copay doubles. There's no out-of-pocket limit, and that means that if you use it, you're going to pay. The more you use it, the more you pay. So let's move on to Medicare Part B. Medicare Part B covers your doctor's visits and your outpatient care. So that includes when your doctor visits you in the hospital. That includes your lab tests, your x-rays, your MRIs, your EKGs, mental health care, your durable medical equipment. So things like your wheelchair, your walkers, your oxygen tanks. And so here's how the cost breaks down for Part B. There is a premium, but it's based on your income. There's a deductible, and then you move into a co-insurance. Medicare pays 80% of covered costs, you pay 20%. There are no out-of-pocket limits again. So I just shared with you what Medicare covers. Now let's talk about what Medicare doesn't cover, because that's equally as important. It definitely doesn't cover prescription drugs, routine dental, vision care, hearing, custodial care, and things of that nature. So what can you do in those situations? Well, there's Medicare supplement insurance, or what is known as Medigap. Now, what's the definition of supplement? Supplement is something that's added to something to enhance it or to complete it. And so Medicare supplement works with Medicare Part A and B, original Medicare, to pay for some of the costs that Medicare Part A and B don't cover. It cannot be used with Medicare Advantage plans, which we'll talk about later. Medicare supplement insurance plans may help to pay for Part B deductibles, Part A deductibles, co-pays, and co-insurance, and a list of other things. What it does not help to cover would be prescription drugs, dental, vision, hearing, glasses, and things of that nature. Now, here's how it works. If you look on the left-hand side of this screen, you'll see all of the benefits that Medicare supplement will cover. If you look on the top to the right, you'll see all of the various plans. You can look from left to right. Plan A covers the least amount. And then as you move forward, you'll see Plan G covers the most. So if you're looking for an option that has the most coverage, Plan G is probably where you want to focus. We just reviewed Medicare Part A, which covers your hospital visits, Part B, which covers your doctors and your outpatient visits, and then Medicare Supplement, which helps to cover or supplement some of the costs that Part A and B don't cover. Now let's move on to Part C. Part C is known as Medicare Advantage plans. This is just another way of getting insurance offered by private insurance companies. This is how it works. So all Medicare Advantage plans must cover everything that is in Part A, with the exception of hospice care, which is covered anyway, and then all of the benefits of Part B. And some Medicare Advantage plans will then have prescription drugs built in, or some additional benefits like dental exams, cleaning, x-rays, eye exams, eyeglasses, hearing aids, or hearing tests. And you've also heard that there are some of these plans that also include gym memberships. So Medicare Advantage covers all of Part A, includes all of Part B, and then it adds all of these extra benefits in there. And they're offered by private insurance companies. There are three common types of Medicare Advantage plans: HMO, PPO, and S&P. HMO are health maintenance organization plans. And so these require that you seek out a provider in the network to be able to get your care. It doesn't cover care if you go outside of that network, except in emergency situations. You may have to choose a primary care doctor, and you may also be required to get a referral for a specialist from that doctor. A PPO plan, which you may be familiar with from working, is a preferred provider organization plan. So these plans give you a little bit more flexibility and freedom to choose the doctors and providers that you want. They allow you to see doctors and providers outside of that network. However, you'll usually have to pay more if you use a doctor or provider outside of the network. And typically, you don't require a referral to see a specialist. The next one is S&P, which stands for Special Needs Plans. So these were designed for people who have special health needs, maybe those who have multiple chronic conditions, including nursing home residents and people with Medicare and Medicaid. And they provide care managers or nurse practitioners to be able to help to manage the care those folks need. So those are the common plans, Medicare Advantage plans, that you're going to come across. So here's some important information you should know about Medicare Advantage. First, you must be enrolled in Original Medicare Part A and B. And you must live in the service area that you are receiving care in. Can't be denied coverage based on your financial or your health status. And again, you may be required to be in a network. Your coverage is going to vary from plan to plan, from year to year, and from insurance company to insurance company. The annual out-of-pocket limit is there to protect you, and your premiums may also change from year to year. So that's Medicare Advantage plans. And remember, these plans are offered by private insurance companies like United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Cigna, Aetna, etc. Now, let's move on to Part D. Part D is a little bit easier to remember. It covers your prescription drug plans. There are two ways to get coverage. One, you can purchase it on your own and add that to an original Medicare plan.
Yeah.
Part D plans have their own list of drugs that are covered, and that list is called a formulary. Then the drugs are grouped into tiers. These formularies are grouped into tiers based on cost. So generally, if you're in a tier 1, you're paying some of the lowest cost. If you're in a tier 5, you're paying the higher cost. Deductibles can also be applied by tiers. So here you need to seek out your plan. As you shop for prescription drug plan, make sure that your medications are covered and under which tier they may fall. So here's what's important to remember on Part D. Again, you must be enrolled in Original Medicare. And you may require to be in a network of pharmacies as well. Your coverage, your cost is going to vary by plan, and it could change each year. And it varies also by insurance company. It's important to note that you are not stuck in your plan for life. So there's a Medicare annual enrollment period, October 15th through December 7th, every year. This is when you can switch from your original Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan or vice versa. So we've talked about Part A for hospital, Part B that covers doctors and outpatient, Part C, which is your Medicare Advantage plans that are offered by private insurance companies, and then Part D, which is your prescription drug plans insurance that's covered by private insurance companies. And we talked about Medicare supplement that supplements what A and B don't cover. I know that was a lot of information, but I hope you found it helpful. But please remember, we are here for you. And if you need additional information, it's just a phone call or a click away.
Carolyn, it's Ricky. Somebody left a question in the chat, and I think I'll read that question for you, and then people can ask the rest of the questions they have. But D here says, but can't these advantage plans also deny services that a doctor recommends?
Yes, Dee, that is true. Once you go into a Medicare Advantage plan, you are now under the jurisdiction of an insurance company, and they can deny services that a doctor recommends. Typically, if it's medically necessary, Medicare will approve it. So I would encourage you, when you have situations like this, to work with your doctors and push for an appeal, to appeal those decisions.
So I have a question. I'm Betty Jones. How do I find out whether or not my plan would cover dental and vision?
Thanks, Betty. Look on the back of your card. That's number one, and call the phone number on there and simply ask them that question, if they cover dental or vision. Oftentimes, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, that's one of the ways they remain competitive, in that they add all of these additional services in there. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to go online. There should be a website or URL link on your card. Go on there. They should have a list of all of your benefits that are covered under your insurance. But it's always nice to talk to someone so that you can ask them all the detailed questions. So I would start, if you're comfortable talking to someone, with just that phone call. Call the number on the back of your card.
Okay.
If you have just Medicare, original Medicare, then you will not have a vision and dental. So those extra services are built into Medicare Advantage plans, or they are also built into some Medicare supplement plans.
Okay, I have the Advantage plan, so I will call that number. Thank you so much. It's been so helpful.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Rita, did you give the website that they can go to?
Yes. To learn more about Medicare, it's abetteryou.info, abetteryou.info, and there you will see different videos and about wellness that Carolyn is talking about today. So we try to look at the mind, body, and spirit, and so we've collected some content and put on there for you. But Ricky Day can also talk to you about how we can bring programs like this to your communities, like Carolyn is doing today, and bring it to your church. And we've been working with faith-based organizations, various organizations, where we can put workshops like this on in your area.
Yes, and very briefly. So hi, I'm Ricky Day. I've been working with Carolyn for quite some time now, and we are so grateful for her and all her contributions to the work that we do. You can reach out to me at Ricky, RICKY.DAY at Interlex, INTERLEX.com, ricky.day@interlex.com. And how it works fundamentally is reach out to me and let me know that your community group, your senior center, your congregation or church that you belong to wants to do a formal Medicare training virtually. I'm happy to work with you to coordinate your efforts. We've got all kinds of great video content that we can use to help you get the basics in place. Then I can schedule Rita here to appear for a live question and answer session, if indeed that is something you'd like, which, by the way, I recommend, because as you saw from the brief video, you typically will leave with more questions than you had coming in. And so it's great to have her on hand to help out with that information. And then, of course, you again, once again, are all welcome to go to the website and spend some time on the website with the content that's there. Carolyn's going to share some more in a few moments, but we've got a great website with wonderful content that's not only about Medicare, but it helps you find ways to be proactive about your health. And then most importantly, as Carolyn's, I'm sure, shared with you guys, and we'll share again after this webinar, also on the website, there are written materials, including our award-winning 64-page Medicare guide. And you can download those materials. They're free of charge, like the entire program is. And you can have many of your questions answered by reading that guide. And at the very least, on the final page of that guide, there are the numbers to the state Medicare offices in each and every one of the 50 states here in the United States. And you can call there and get the answers that you need, I believe 24 hours a day, Rita. That's correct, right? Yeah.
Yes, and as Ricky alluded to, you can find not only that 64-page guide, but there are shorter ones as well. So depending on what your appetite is for Medicare, but there are many resources on there. There are tips on there from Ernestine and Yanni Schomburger. So great information you can just download at your convenience.
The last thing I would leave you with, if you get there, I know most of you are in Georgia, but if you get to the website and you're having some difficulty logging in, understand that we are approved to do this program this year, in this calendar year, in 10 states. And those states are New York, Washington, D.C., which I know is not a state, but we're approved there, Maryland, Virginia, North and South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. So when that drop-down menu comes down, if you're in one of those states and you select those states, you'll be able to peruse the website and enjoy all the materials and download whatever you need.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ernestine Shepherd.
And I'm Yanni Schamberger. Now, Ernie, we all are familiar with your story and how you got into this journey, this fitness journey. But what we want to know, your commitment to being fit and healthy, how has it personally affected you?
Johnny, I'm glad you asked me this. I suffer with anxiety and depression, and I found out that working out helped me tremendously. I feel so much better since I've begun working out. So that is just what I do, day in and day out.
And right now, all of us are going through so much in life. There's ups and downs. And I want to know, how are you dealing with your ups and downs? What kind of challenges are you facing now?
I'm glad you asked me that. I have been facing some challenges. My husband, who I've been married to for 63 years, died just in September. And gosh, that really upset me. Then I have a sister, my baby sister, who's suffering with Parkinson's disease. And that has me going. I have to go over and help take care of her. But I found that I still get up, I go out and I walk, come back in, then I lift weights. With me doing all of this, it has helped my spirit, as I said before, and I feel stronger. And I'm passing that on to others that just don't sit there. Try to get out and exercise, and you'll find that you will feel much, much better.
So all the work that you're doing to build that strength on the outside is really helping you cope with all the things, all the downs that's coming on you every day. So working out is a form of health that everybody should enjoy. You think?
I know so, because I have gone through it. And as I said to you before, it has done a lot for me. If I don't get out and walk and exercise, I am awful. So I make certain that I do this, and I'm telling others to try it and see if it won't work for them.
That's right, beat that stress away.
Yes.
You know, that's inspirational. And you have been an inspiration to a lot of people. But I heard something. Yeah, I saw you in a film, Beyonce's film, Black is King. Can you tell us about that experience?
The song they played was Power. I threw my arms up in that scene. The meaning celebrates the power and beauty of Blackness and not allowing anyone to get in your mind and try to take that away from you. We arrived in California. Do you know Beyonce gave me a big, big hug. She made me feel so good. She was so beautiful and so wonderful to me. The whole show that she had was well organized. I even got to see a little bit of some of her performance, and then I saw some of the performance of her little girl. And don't you know, being there with that song, The Power, all of the problems that I was having, it made me stronger. It made me know that I can still get up and move and do what I need to do. Beyonce helped me in so many ways, and she'll never, ever know how much she helped me. I love her.
That is great, wonderful experience.
Oh, absolutely. And Rita and I have been going back and forth about this all week, whether it's 86 or 87 at this point. We've lost track, but I can say that she is going strong. She's a Guinness Book of World Records bodybuilder. She started her journey into fitness in her 50s, and her faith really fueled her journey. She had a twin sister, I mean, not twin, but a sister that she worked out with, and I won't tell the whole story, but her sister and her started this journey together, and tragically she lost her sister, but her sister made her promise that she would continue the journey, and not only for herself, but to be an inspiration to others. And she has done just that. She has toured the world preaching this gospel, if you will, of fitness and being proactive about your health. She's appeared on numerous TV shows, including Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey's show. She's our spokesperson and travels with us across the country, and we will do that again once we return to somewhat normal times where we can all gather in person. But she's a wonderful example of, you really just have to make a decision in your spirit to do the thing, to be responsible for your own well-being, physically as well as mentally, to get off that sofa, to get out of your feelings and your woes, and to be grateful to God for the blessings that have in your life, and to show that gratitude not only by just saying it with words, but saying it with your actions, eating right, drinking right, taking care of your temple so that you can remain here and not only be a loved family member, but be an inspiration to others in their journey. And for us as people who are over 50 or 60 years old, to be a mentor to young people and give them hope and give them and share with them the wisdom that you've lived. So she's a wonderful person. Rita and I, and you too, Carolyn, are blessed to call her a friend. And we miss her, and I miss seeing her, but we will see her again soon. And she's a wonderful, wonderful person. And as she would say, she's not doing anything that we can't do if we decide to.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ricky. Really appreciate that. You and Rita, and also Trish and Lynn and Omari. So now we're going to give away the prizes. You have to be present to win. And I talk about living wills. What I'm going to do is...
Well, I mentioned to Carolyn that I have 5 coloring books to give away. Of course, all your answers need to come into the chat box, and we'll be able to see who has the first and best answer. So the first question is, name the focus of Black is the Color of Volume 1. Volume 1. It had a subheading. I still don't see the answer yet. Culture, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, that is the answer. Okay, I see you, Art Man. Okay. All right.
And Lynn, before you give the next, before I get dropped off again and start doing my deep breathing,
Okay.
If you win, if Lynn or Trish has told you you've won, send your name and mailing address to me so I can pass it on. That's important. The only way we can get the prizes to you. And then after she finishes, I have some to give away too. So please stay on. Okay, Lynn, go on. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Art Man, please send your information. And thank you for that. The volume 1 is about culture and life. So
let us see your face, Lynn.
Okay, okay. Here I am. Here I am. This entire program has been really exciting. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Name one of the colored in pages that was shown, that was featured there. Name one of them. It was colored in. Barbershop, there you go. It says iPhone. Who is the iPhone? You have to type in your name.
And remember, if it's you, email me what you won and your name and a mailing address to ch@carolynhartfield.com. My email address should be in all those emails I sent you.
Okay, all right, here we go. Number 3, name another coloring book page that was featured. The kitchen.
The kitchen.
Who's in the kitchen? Cooking, no, not cooking with mom. It was cooking with
Grandmother.
grandmother. That's what it was. Cooking with grandmother. Yes.
Mother.
Yeah. So send your information to Carolyn. Okay. Question number 4. How many volumes are in the Black is the Color of Coloring Book series? 3. Yes. Okay, I see a lot of 3s. Okay. Carolyn, we're gonna have to go back to, let's see. Carol Jennings, I think, was first. I see her first with the right answer.
Yeah, we can see because they come in as they type it in, so we can see who first.
Yeah. People that have the super duper fast internet.
Not like me today.
Okay, the last question. Name 3 benefits of coloring. Now this is important. 3 benefits of coloring. You have to put 3 in 1. Okay, I see Stacy put creativity, stress reduction, and community. Stacy Okora. Okay. Well, I certainly appreciate everyone listening, and I thank you very much, Carolyn, for offering this, and visit our website for more information.
Tell them what you want again, and did you put it in the chat?
Say it again.
In the chat, tell them what, but put it in the chat.
So the people that have won, that I called out their name, they're going to win one of the coloring books, and I'll mail it out. And hopefully it's a volume that you like. Volume 1 and 2 is out now. Volume 3 will be out closer to the holidays. So that is our offering today.
Thank you.
Okay, and Ricky, I just see in the chat, they said you did not list website.
It sure did.
So for your contact information or something, so would you do that? And once again, if you are getting one of Lynn's coloring books, please send me your name, mailing address, so that I can pass that information on to Lynn. And if you're interested in purchasing one of the coloring books, please contact Lynn direct, or you can just Lynn, would you put my email address in the chat while I'm doing this, please? ch@carolynhartfield.com. Is Trish on?
Yep, I'm here. So,
okay.
So we got, okay. I was gonna say we got our winners earlier, so I was just gonna announce the names.
Okay, so if the winners, as you announce the names, if they would send me their name and mailing address, and I'll make sure I get that information to you. Now, the other thing that I have, the first person to register for the webinar was Brenda Stith. Is she on? Brenda, if you're on, let me know. I have a gift card to Whole Foods for you.
Yes, I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay.
So want me to email you my address?
Yes, please.
Thank
please.
you. Fabulous.
Yes. And also is Andrea Darden. Are you on? You're actually our 100th person to register. Andrea Darden, are you on? If not, maybe I get to keep it myself, huh? Andrea Darden is not on.
I can be Andrea.
Okay.
Friday.
Then Deronda Gore, are you still on? Deronda? Deronda Gore, are you still on? Going once? Going twice? Deronda? Okay, she's gone.
Oh, wait, I'm here.
Okay.
You almost lost. I'm here.
Oh.
You're breaking up now. I can't hear what you're saying. Carolyn.
Deronda, probably send your information to her email address.
I didn't hear anything she said. What was the prize?
You're one of the winners. You should send your mailing information to ch@carolynhartfield.com.
Okay.
ch@carolynhartfield.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And while we're waiting for Carolyn, I'll announce the winners that we had earlier for my 3 books. So the first person that I have is Valerie Pugh Hicks. Valerie, so just send your address to Carolyn. And the person who answered the right question for the second question was Linda Green.
Yay!
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
You're
Valerie
welcome.
too.
So you can just send your address over to Carolyn. And Selena, I don't have a last name, Salena, Selena.
Hello.
Third book. Okay, Selena, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, I see Valerie's on still as
Yes,
well.
I'm here. I'm here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh. And I put my website in the chat for you guys. Oh, I thought Carolyn was back.
Thought she was back too. I saw her pop
Yeah,
up.
she popped up for a second. For those of you who didn't, oh, go ahead. Is someone here? I was going to say, for those of you who didn't win a book, there's a free downloadable ebook on the website. It's the Mind-Blowing Happiness Guide to Self-Care. And you're all welcome to download that.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ricky.
Can you repeat your website?
Yeah, it's my name. It's Trish Ajhel Roberts. So the middle name is the only part that's tricky. It's Trish, Trish. And my middle name is Ajhel. And then the last name is Roberts, Roberts. It's also in the chat.
Thank you for the download, Trish. Much
Thank
appreciated.
Let me jump in and get knocked off again. Duranda, you won the other $15 Whole Foods gift card. So please send me your full name and address. That's what you got. And if anyone is interested, I can send it out to anyone, or if you're interested in the living will, the 5 wishes living will, just shoot me an email, say either 5 wishes or living will, and I will send you online copy that you can print, or either you can order a hard copy from me. They're just $5, pay for the postage.
Carolyn.
Rita, do you have any? Yes, Ricky.
I'm feeling very generous.
Okay.
Do you mind if I add to the pot?
Please do.
I would like to, I'm doing this in real time. I would like to share with you 3 $50 each gift cards for Whole Foods to the first 3 people that go to the website and then come back and email you a little later with their answer. The first 3 people that get the answer to you of just one of Yanni's nutritional tips in his video on the website. So everybody at betteryou.info, and the first 3 people that have gone through some of those videos and can get back to Carolyn with the answer and then give her your mailing address, she will get to you a gift card for $50 at Whole Foods.
Wow, can I
repeat your website again? Betteryou.com.
YOU.
Better.
Info, and I'm putting it in the chat again. It's in there a couple of times, but I'll put it in there one more time because it's, as people type, it'll scroll away and you won't see it, but it's in there. And I'm putting it in there right now. I'm sorry,
Ricky,
Carolyn.
can I enter?
I like that, Carolyn.
Carolyn, I will escort you personally to Whole Foods. How about that? You are a blessing, and I just want to share that publicly. I know
Yes.
people work with you.
Thank you so
honestly
much.
Often, and they know it.
Thank you.
We are grateful for your service and your help and all that we do and helping educate our community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Absolutely.
And you look amazing. Just have to say that again.
Thank you. Life is good. I tell you, season and savoring in the season of life. That's why I love doing these webinars. And I'll be sending out a short survey to see who's interested in what topics for future ones. I know this was a very condensed and short, but it's simply to give you just a little inkling of what we can do, because each topic really deserves its own webinar, so we can go much more in depth. So I'll send you a little survey to everyone, and please be candid and be honest with your responses, so we can all move forward and live a healthy, happy, and harmonious life. So, Trish or Lynn or Omari, Rita, and my dear friend Ricky, does anybody have any closing remarks? And thank you for all of the support and great comments in the chat as well. We really appreciate it. So glad that you stayed on. The people that didn't actually log in, even though they registered, will be sending out recording to the webinar. So